All right, so it's recording. Hello, everybody. I'm sorry for the delay. It was the same way last week, but I think it's even a little bit more delayed this week. So hopefully you guys can hear me fine. So today's Zoom is actually tough love for just in a couple of different ways, but it's something that I feel like a lot of people need to hear, and it's something that I learned the hard way. So I really want to go ahead and share with you guys, and that is wasting your time. Wasting your time on people who are on your team who don't want it for themselves. I think that it's really, really, really easy for us naturally to want it for other people and to try and almost force them into working the business, and when it's something that they don't want, and ultimately that results in us spinning our wheels. So that's what this name is about. Time, this is a quote by Henrietta C. Mears. Time cannot be saved, it can only be spent, and if not spent wisely, well, it is wasted. And that's just the sad truth, is that we can spend a lot of time spinning our wheels and essentially wasting time in this business. And I did that for way too long, which is why I got stuck at one rank for 9 months, and I don't want the same to happen to you guys. So this is kind of, like I said, tough love Zoom, and I hope this helps you guys. So when we sign somebody up, this is for the following circumstances. So I think we've all experienced these situations. No, I'm not changing your kitty's diaper. No, go change your poo-poo. Sorry. When we sign somebody up and they sound motivated, but then they disappear. Or those who join and then fall silent and never even seemed interested from the beginning. Or our best friend or our family member who you know would be really, really, really great at this, but oh gosh. Sorry, you guys, I know it's really delayed. Okay, so your best friend or your family member who knows would be great but shows no interest, or those that you have on your team and who say they want to go to the top and say they want to be diamond but never actually work for it, and they're all talk. So that's what this is all going to be about, spending your time wisely and kind of like what to do in those situations. So we cannot want something for somebody else. If they don't want it for themselves, you can want it for them, but you cannot like work this for them. So we can want for the people on our team, but they have to want it for themselves if they're going to do anything with their businesses at all. This goes the same for potentials. We can be talking to somebody who so desperately needs the product. And if they don't want them for themselves and they don't want that change for themselves, they are not going to jump on board no matter how much we talk to them. So whenever we have, for example, a potential who is claiming that they want this so badly, but doesn't have the money, they use the money cost objection. If you buy that for them, if you cave and you spend $150 for them because you want them on your team so bad, they're not going to value it. So I don't ever suggest doing that. I have single moms. We have a high school student on our team. We have single moms. We have people going through divorce. Have couples who are struggling to make ends meet. I have starving students. Like, you name it, where cost objection should be an issue. And either as my customers or on my team, I have one of them, because everybody, Naomi, you have to stop. Everybody can come up with $34.95. Maybe they can't come up with the $150, but if somebody wanted this bad enough, they can come up with the $34.95 and join your team. They just can. Everybody spends $35 a month on something that they don't need. Maybe it can add up through their small paychecks, or maybe it's one big purchase, which usually it's a $35 purchase at some time during the month. But wanting it for somebody and then using the cost objection, don't go spending your own money on signing them up or spilling your own resources into joining them, because I'm telling you, if somebody wants it bad enough, they will join. And maybe they can't buy a welcome pack, but they will join. But they will only do that if they actually want it. I mean, want it. I've had people for 18 months telling me how badly they want Plexus and how they just dream about joining Plexus, but they'll post every 2 weeks about their mani-pedi, and they still haven't joined, or still haven't, still haven't taken that plunge because they don't want it. So the motivation comes from within themselves and nowhere else. We cannot force that upon them. So with that said, oh gosh, I'm so delayed. With that said, let me get my kids a snack, please, so they stop yelling at me. You guys need to stop. No. Yes, I'm getting you fishies. Fishies. Here you go. With that said, some people on our teams can say that they really want this, and yet they're not working for it, or they're not, basically, yeah, they're not working for it. And it could be because they're really, really shy. I'm not disregarding that. I'm not saying that everybody who says they want it and isn't going for it is a lazy person. Some people are very introverted. Some people are very shy. So as their leader, it is absolutely our role to help them break out of their bubbles. The key component of my point of this Zoom, though, is that we cannot force them to break out of their comfort zone. We can give them resources and we can guide them and we can help them to break out of their comfort zone, but we cannot force them out of their comfort zone. And I think that most of the time when we join, we feel like we should be able to have this magic power to break somebody out of their comfort zone, and it's just not the reality. So recommend books, give pep talks, send YouTube videos, be their friend, be their leader. I'm not saying to not do those things. We have to do those things, especially for the introverts on our team. Do that for everybody on your team, but you cannot want it badly enough for them. I have so many shy people and introverts on my team who are forcing themselves out of their comfort zone because this is something they actually want, which all circles back around to what I'm saying is that they have to really, really want this, and you can't do that. You can't want it for somebody. That comes from within. So those who are shy and introverts and are not using that trait of themselves as an excuse not to work their business will watch the YouTube videos. They will read the books. They will call their friends. They will reach out. They will post on Facebook. They will break out of their comfort zones. Maybe it's slowly but surely, but with the hands of their leaders, which everybody on this call is a leader, you can guide them into doing that by providing the resources, but we cannot push them into doing it because they have to want it for themselves. As their leaders, we need to be there for them always. So even if we have somebody on our team who joins, says, yeah, girl, I want to be on your Plexus team. They spend the money, they join, you try to get on the phone with them, you try to reach out to them, they ignore you from that point forward. Or they don't post ever on Facebook, or they don't take their products consistently. Naturally, because we are humans, that is going to be really frustrating. It is frustrating, and that's okay. Hey guys, for everybody joining the call right now, I'm so sorry it's really delayed. Just bear with us, but I see you guys. So naturally, we're going to get frustrated with that because we want it, right? Because everybody on this call is like, I'm all in. Like, what's wrong with these people? I want this. Why don't they want it? But just be there for them when they want it for themselves. Continue guiding them. Continue being in contact with them regularly. Give them, lots of love as their leader, but pushing them is something that we can't do. Forcing them to be into the business side is something that we can't do. It truly is black and white whether or not somebody's actually going to go for it or they're not going to go for it. the decision is pretty black and white in their head, is what I've learned in 18 months. Begging and convincing those who don't truly want it for themselves will get you absolutely nowhere, and it will completely waste your time. So begging and convincing is a whole other thing other than guiding and providing resources. I don't want you guys to think I'm saying to ignore them. Don't leave them out to dry. But providing resources and guiding is much different than begging and convincing and trying to push somebody into this. A statistic actually is that 60% of people are complacent. They want to do things, but they never actually do them. 20% are go-getters, and they will go all on their own, and they will run with it. And the other 20% don't want it at all. Either it's a potential who wants nothing to do with Plexus, then move on, or it's somebody who joined your team and read a bad review or whatever it might be, and they will peace out and they don't want it at all. That's not in your control. You can't force them to want it. But that 60% of people who are complacent and will be essentially all talk about how badly they want something, they never actually do it. And we cannot work for our ambassadors. We can't force them to do anything. They have to put in the work themselves. So to be productive in this business and focus on the positive is that we must always stay on recruitment, always stay looking for the next potential diamond under you, always be reaching out to new people, always be cultivating new relationships. You're going to have people that join your team that aren't into it. And instead of obsessing on that and getting frustrated with it and spilling your time into them all the time, stay on recruitment for somebody else. Always be there for that person. I've already said this. Always be there for that person, but it doesn't mean to obsess and fixate on them. They don't have to have the same vision that you do. All that matters for you and your success in this business is solely reliant on you reaching out to more people and staying on recruitment and keep pushing forward. This does not, like I already said that, this does not mean get bitter and write them off. That's not what I'm saying at all. Keep a relationship with every single person on your team, but it also means don't spend your days trying to convince them that this is the business for them, because somebody has to want that for themselves. Okay, so if nobody has joined your team yet who wants to run, because some of you guys on this call are at this point where you have some people on your team who want to do nothing with their business, and you have some people on your team, or some people on your team who are telling you they want to do something with their business, but they're not doing anything with it. And then other people on your team who you're like, okay, whoa, they just took that bull by the horns and they just started going. If nobody has joined your team yet who sees the vision and wants it and is going to just go for it, keep on recruitment. They will come. It could be the next person you reach out to. It could be the next person you meet at the grocery store. It could be the next person you follow up with. It could be a person who you don't see coming at all, and they're going to message you out of nowhere because they've been watching your Facebook post silently, and they're going to just jump on the opportunity when they're ready. You don't know when it's going to happen. But I can tell you one thing, that if you don't stay in recruitment mode and you let the unmotivated people on your team get you down, you will never get to that point of having a next diamond on your team, because they're going to go and join somebody else. Just plain and simple. If we let other people on our team, our downline, not wanting to run with this business, hold us back from working our business, you're not ever going to have a business. You're never going to have success because you are not staying in constant recruitment mode and moving forward. So kind of wrap up. This is like a shorter call, I think. Yeah, this is a little bit of shorter call. To give you an example, I joined in October. I went silver the next month in November. And I had about 10 people on my team, and all of them, most of them, not all of them, a lot of them some of them are working their businesses now, but at the time didn't want to work their businesses at all. And I was getting really discouraged. I was thinking like, geez Louise, how am I ever going to go, you know, to like the next rank if the people under me don't have the same vision that I do? But instead of getting discouraged, I kept pushing forward and stayed on recruitment mode. And on December 31st, it was actually New Year's Eve, like right before midnight. I don't know what this girl was doing, and it was Chelsea Gonzalez, so some of you guys know her. On New Year's Eve, before she went out, she decided she was going to join my Plexus team, and a lot of you guys know who Chelsea is now. She's the Senior Gold Ambassador. I did not see that coming, and that is the point where then I went gold, then I went Senior Gold a few months later, but I kept pushing forward and kept pursuing people and kept following up with her. I could have so easily have gotten discouraged when I had a team full of people who had no interest on working their business. And had I not kept pushing forward, Chelsea would have joined somebody else's team. So I want you guys to just kind of take this as a little bit of encouragement and a little bit of tough love. It kills me when I see people wasting their time. That is not to say that no individuals on our team are a waste of time. I want to make that very, very clear. No individuals on our team are a waste of time. It's what you're doing with your time that will be wasting your own time. So if you have somebody, in conclusion, if you have somebody on your team who you are getting very either frustrated or discouraged by because you're like, why are they saying they want this but they're not doing anything with it? Or why did they join my team if they're not going to work the business? Or why did they join my team if they're just going to turn their backup order and not even off and not take their products? All of those things happen, you guys, all of them. And all that matters to us as ambassadors is that we continue to love on them, be there for them when they have questions, reach out to them regularly to see how they're doing, active or not, and stay on constant recruitment mode for your next diamond. You never, ever, ever, ever know who it's going to be. So I hope this encouraged you guys. I hope this helps. And I hope you guys have a great Tuesday. And then also last thing, next week, Zooms are moving to Wednesdays. So I'm going to be posting that on the team page, and I'm going to be posting a graphic and everything for it. But Wednesdays, I don't have my kids for 6 hours anymore. I've taken 6 hours every Wednesday to work my business solidly, and I'm going to make it on Wednesday. So I hope that's okay with you guys. I hope it still works, and you guys have a good Tuesday. I'll see you next week, and I'll talk to you guys all really soon.